visit Indy, just do an incredible job putting this event together. And then to get it for 2 more years, nobody does it better. Nobody can do it better. City time they put in, how organized the hospitals. It's just an unbelievable setup. All right, fire away. I mean, like you saw it at Penn State. Like, he's really instinctive. He's really smart. I think that some of the, like, for any rookie, especially on both sides of the ball, but offensively, a tight end that has to, like, I think it's a very difficult position because you've got to know the blocking schemes, the passing schemes, the pass protection schemes, the run game. There's so much that you put on them, and his ability, we knew it coming out, that he'd be able to handle it. Now, you didn't know how fast, but we had a pretty good feeling for it. And then being he stayed his entire time at Penn State. He learned, he matured. He's going to get better. I mean, I think that's the one thing that, like, he's going to get better, and that's the exciting thing. So, no, yeah, excited about him, and it didn't surprise me what he did. No.
Have you guys gotten much closer?
Yeah, we've had discussions. I know our coaches and Shane have had long discussions. I had long discussions at the end of the year, and every day. I mean, Mooney's a special kid, not a young man, who had some unfortunate circumstances. The second concussion was pretty severe. And then when he had the third one, he fought me. He was not happy with the doctor or I, but we're going to do the right thing for the player. He's in a good frame of mind, but I'm not in the hypotheticals of what's going to happen, but his frame of mind is really good right now.
So he's still deciding?
No, I mean, I don't want to say still deciding, but all indications is he's wanting to move forward and play.
More from General Manager Chris Ballard in just a second, but if you haven't already hit that sub button, we've got you covered during the Combine. Chat Sports is there and bringing you content. Also during the entire offseason, free daily videos. That means the draft, free agency, trades, and more coming right at you for free. And of course, this is why we love to hear from you, because when you subscribe, you're watching the videos, you're commenting and being heard. We'd love to see that. So be sure to hit that sub button.
Is there an update on
Yeah, he's good. No, I think Buck. I think it was some relief for Buck when he got it done. I mean, look, it's really the first. I mean, he's had injuries in his career, but really it was the first time that he had one that was pretty serious. And then getting the surgery done, the relief that I think he felt. One, knowing I feel better instantly. Felt better. And two, I can play football again. I'm not going to put a time frame on it. We're expecting him back for training camp. The way he works and who he is, it wouldn't surprise me if it's sooner. But he'll be back and he'll be ready to go, and I think he'll have a good year.
how the talks progressed with Daniel and Alec with the new league years?
Yeah, good. We've had great discussions about both of them. We'll continue to work this week and see if we can get something done. It's been very positive. Look, when both sides are driven to get it done, it usually works out in the right way. There's a long. I mean, I know 4 or 5 days doesn't seem like a long time, but it can be in these situations. But the player, we're driven, they're driven. The agents have been great to work with. We just got to keep working through it. It's not what we want to do. It's a tool we have. It's not what we want to do, though.
Chris, Michael Pittman Jr. was kind of unpopular on the podcast. Who was with the Bills going forward? Could you maybe clarify?
I love Mike. Did y'all know Pitt? If y'all knew this, he's he's a pilot now. And I knew he was dabbling with it, but I didn't know he was going up in the air and flying solo and doing all that. So Pitt's an interesting guy. So, now, look, I think the world of Pitt and who he is as a player. And any suggestion that he's not going to be here is a pure hypothetical in my mind.
Chris, you don't have a first rounder this year.
Pierce. Yeah, left tackle. Left tackle. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Traits do you seek out on day 2 and day 3 prospects, and prospects that don't shine at the top of the board? What traits are you seeking out when
Look, history's proven that it doesn't have to be. Great players come from everywhere in the draft, whether they're a first-round pick, seventh-round pick, undrafted free agent. There's certain athletic traits that we do look for, but the one consistent, like Bernie was a really good player coming out and had played a lot of football. Pierce had played a lot of football. JT, Pittman, these guys had played a lot of football. So our scouts do a great job of digging and trying to dig out those type of players that we think can come in and produce right away. They come from everywhere. So I think you know us. We like to acquire picks. I'm not saying we wouldn't move up in the draft because that's always a possibility, but there's a good chance that we'll end up moving back. And we have plenty of, like, we're going to end up getting, I think, 2 comp picks, so we're at 7. I would anticipate having more when it's all said and done. Go.
When it comes to Pitt, is it realistic to play at that cap figure with having to pay Alec?
Mike Bloom does an unbelievable job for us. So whatever challenges we have, we'll work to them as we get these contracts done.
How has Anthony progressing since the end of the season? Regained his full vision?
Yeah, well, he's getting better. He just had I know he met with another specialist. He's getting better. He's been cleared to play football. I'm proud of Anthony, man. I mean, here's a guy that has had to deal with a lot of injury stuff that, happens. Unfortunate accident, with his eye. He doesn't win the job. Daniel wins the job. I think the one thing that I don't know if everybody appreciates about Anthony, I do, and I know some of his teammates do, is like he's a really good teammate. Positive, wants to do the right thing. So it's trending in the right direction. Still got a ways to go, but he's cleared to play, and the eye's getting better. So we'll just work from there. I see a future. Yeah, I'm not going to. Kind of like with any player, you never know what's going to happen, and things change. But yeah, I mean, we like Anthony.
Injuries aside, Chris, and for all this, what do you think derails quarterback development? Golly, man, that's a long answer there. So many factors. I mean, because you're seeing it in the league right now. I mean, especially with a first-round pick. Like they really are given, okay, you get year 1, everybody gives them the benefit of the doubt. Year 2, like if they're not a superstar, flush them. Like that's kind of been the MO. And you can see it with guys around the league that have kind of bounced back and matured and got enough snaps and figured out the game. And I mean, Sam Darnold just won a Super Bowl doing it. Baker Mayfield is a guy. Daniel. I mean, we've had these guys that, and like when a development happens in a quarterback, okay, organizationally, and in general, like everybody succeeds at their own rate. I said this numerous times, but I think all of them have to stand on the edge of the cliff because they're going to struggle. I just had a talk with a guy about this. He's like, they're going to struggle. They're going to get criticized like they've never been criticized before. I mean, if you think about it, especially in today's age, in social media where we stamp and make them superstars even before they're a superstar. And they get to our league, freak, it's not easy. And they got to stand at the edge of the abyss and not jump. That I wish if I had an answer for that one, I'd probably quit and become a consultant and and make a lot of money.
Time for a couple more.
Just sort of tight end theme coming up. 2 tight ends went in the first round. What have you observed in your career, just the team's willingness to select that position in the first round?
Well, we took Greg Olsen when I was in Chicago, who's a really good player. We liked also the kid that the Bears took. We thought he was going to be really good. And I thought the second half of the season he was, outstanding. 3 down players that can really impact the middle of the field. I think you saw the difference it made offensively for us. I think I've told you all this numerous times, but like Jack Doyle is one of the most underappreciated guys I think that's ever played for Indianapolis. All he did every year was block his ass off on the edge and catch every ball thrown to him. And every quarterback that played with him, it was a safety valve. I mean, you're talking about Andrew, Rivers, every quarterback that played with him liked throwing to Jack Doyle. And so not that our other guys weren't good players, but they were good players in their role where Tyler, he can play on all 3 downs. There's a lot of confidence with the quarterbacks when they're playing with him that he's going to execute. The Atlanta game, y'all are all too young. Chappell, remember? The catch he made on the sideline looked like, the one in overtime he makes. I'm sitting in the end. I think Cal and I were sitting in the end zone, and I was already bitching about something else. But he makes it, and I go, that's Dave Casper. He looked like Dave Casper catching the ball. And it was beautiful. I mean, if you go back and YouTube Dave Casper, you're going to see some of those just acrobatic, and it's so graceful and effortless that he can do it. Look, he might not outrun you, but I can tell you this, his instincts are as good as I've been around, just in general as a player.
Earlier this offseason, you mentioned wanting to get younger and faster on the defensive side of the ball. Could you kind of expound on where on the defense you really feel like that need is evident?
Yep. The front 7, we've had some, pretty good players there, but speed on defense. We got to get faster on defense, okay? And we really got to get faster in the front 7.
You're in pressure, you said.
That a boy. I was waiting if you're going to ask a question.
I'm trying to get in there, these professionals. But you said that you wanted to get younger, faster. How does that play into the current roster, and who are we going to lose because of that?
No, it's a fair assessment. I think we'll work through it as we go along. We got to see how free agency works out, and then you attack the draft in that way. The drafts, we think it's good on the defensive side of the football, especially in the front 7. But it's a definite area that we need to address.